But even 75% of atmospheric pressure should be plenty to prevent the doors from opening. So how did this happen in May 2023?
A passenger panicked and actually managed to open an Airbus emergency exit in flight. They were on final approach then, they were quite close to the ground, so the pressure differential was very little. And because of him using all of his force, he actually managed to get the door open, which was crazy. And we didn't think that that was possible. But if you want something bad enough, I guess it is.
Wow. Was he okay?
He was okay. Everyone was okay in that case.
That was a pretty serious mishap. So I guess the next logical question is, have any other passengers inadvertently caused a mishap by, say, forgetting to put their phone on airplane mode? When you're sitting there on the tarmac and they come on and tell you to put your phone on airplane mode, do you do it? And why do they get us to do that? What is the reason? Is there a reason?
Obviously, they wouldn't ask you to do it if it wasn't for some benefit.
I'm unfortunately a bit of a rebel and I don't follow the rules. And yeah.
But you're not worried about taking the plane down?
I make sure my parents have the airplane mode on so I can have it off.
I mean, yes, I do, because I don't want it interfering with, like, the radio or whatever.
Well, I think it's the communication interference.
I feel like I've always been told, like, it messes up, like, instruments, honestly. They're always just told to do it, so, you know, gotta put your phone in airplane mode.
In 1961, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, found that some portable FM radios could interfere with plane navigation systems since they used neighboring radio bands. And out of caution, they banned almost all personal electronics on flights. But airlines could test any device for interference and overrule the FAA ban to allow it on board. Any device, that is, except a phone. Because another organization has jurisdiction over phones, and that's the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC. See, a phone on the ground with buildings and hills around it can usually only see 1 or 2 cell towers at the same time. But from the air, it could see 10 or 20 or more. The concern was that 200 phones traveling at 800 kilometers per hour in a plane could rapidly connect to many towers at once, overloading the infrastructure. At least that's what the FCC thought could happen. So they banned cell phone use in flight in 1991. But there's a problem with this theory. A plane is a big metal enclosure, essentially a Faraday cage, so it should block almost all electromagnetic signals. That's why plane antennas are located on the outside. Your phone signals can only escape through the windows, which means they go horizontally out the sides of the plane, so they would have to travel long distances before reaching the ground. And the cell towers your phone is trying to connect to, well, they are tilted downwards, you know, to collect all the signals from people walking around on the ground. So it's very hard to make a connection from the air unless you're flying really low. So phones could only conceivably disrupt ground networks during takeoff or landing. And the FCC never even tested if this was the case. In 2005, they went before Congress and said the rule banning 800 MHz cell phone use in flight may not be needed in order to protect ground-based cellular networks.
As far as we know, a mobile phone has never caused an air accident. All airplane mode does, for sure, is save your battery life. So why are these rules still around?
I've been flying myself, and where I've gotten interference, you know, when you're talking to a traffic control and you get that beep, 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 you know, that signal. And that is because someone is either using their phone or the phone is on. Will one phone in an aircraft cause any problems? Probably not. Will 200 do something? Maybe. Rather than taking the chance of like, let everyone update their Twitter profile at 500 feet. Rather than saying that, we're saying, no, just keep them off, enjoy the Wi-Fi up at altitude and that's it.
But airplane mode might soon be a thing of the past. The EU actually no longer requires it, and is pushing for airlines to provide 5G service on all EU flights.
So we may eliminate that inconvenience, but we still have to deal with airplane food. What do you think about airplane food?
I wouldn't eat the bread rolls. That's anything I can handle. Apart from that, everything tastes like mush.
It can either be very good or it can be very terrible.
Blandish, different consistency.
Do you think the food tastes as good in a plane as it would on the ground?
No.
But bad tasting food might not be all the airline's fault. See, the air that's pumped into the cabin at altitude is really dry. The Sahara Desert, for reference, has an average relative humidity of 25%. But inside an airplane cabin, it can be as low as 5%.
This can dry out your nasal passages, hindering your sense of smell and therefore taste. The lower cabin pressure can also decrease sensations like the intensity of salt and sugar. But there is one flavor that appears to be enhanced in flight. What do you drink in an airplane? What's your drink of choice?
Apple juice.
Apple juice?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, Coke, that's default.
Orange or apple juice?
Gin and tonic?
Maybe a Bloody Mary if
You're the first one today.
Really?
Yeah.
A German survey of 1,000 flyers found that more than a quarter of them ordered tomato juice in flight. And what's really weird is that 23% of those people would never drink it on the ground.
And would you drink Bloody Mary? Would that be like a standard drink at the bar, or is it a special plane drink?
I only have it on planes.
So why is everyone ordering tomato juice? Well, it could be because of the noise.
A 2015 study points to the chorda tympani, a nerve that carries taste information from the tongue to the brainstem. It runs right past the eardrum, between the tiny sound-conducting bones. So loud cabin noise might unintentionally stimulate it.
This could produce an audio illusion that boosts our sense of umami, the savory taste you find in MSG, soy sauce, and, well, tomatoes.
I always drink tomato juice, and I never knew why. It just felt like my plane drink, or like spicy tomato juice.
Yeah.
Like both of those are favorites of mine.
Yeah.
So next time you're on a flight, go for something extra sweet or salty, or maybe try the tomato juice.
I feel like with how much people fly, our perspective of flying is still pretty distorted. So why is that?
Yeah. I know that we talk a lot about accidents and incidents and we dig into them really, really deep. And people might ask, why would you be doing this? Doesn't that just make people even more afraid of flying? But the fact is that this is one of the prime reasons why aviation is as safe as it is. The fact that we have hundreds of professionals that dig deep into these accidents means that we learn from them. So every flight becomes a little bit safer. That's actually a big reason that I started my channel, Mentor Pilot, in the first place. Because I promise you, the more you know, the safer you'll feel.
I'm gonna be sneaking into the biggest events of the summer. What are you doing? I gotta get away from this guy first.
That's right. I'm flying around the globe, sneaking into the biggest concerts of the summer and using my evil sneaking powers for good. Surprise my best friends with a chance to see their favorite artists. There is one problem, though. My friends don't trust me.
I got a text from Eric today. He said that he was gonna make my dreams come true.
Last time Eric surprised me with something, he hid in the bathroom dressed as a clown with a chainsaw.
He threw me out of a hot air balloon attached to a bungee cord.
He hired a giant dog to attack me.
He's put roaches on me. He's put rats on me.
Off camera, he's a great guy, great friend. But when the cameras turn on, you have no idea what's gonna happen.
So my plan is to hang out with each one of them and share a special experience, and hopefully I can earn their trust back.
Jack,
who's your favorite artist?
You don't want to see me winning. Kodak Black. Yeah, Kodak Black.
Would you want to go to Kodak Black concert with me?
What's the catch?
I would get the tickets, but we're not going to use